we're hoping to invest in a couple of new mics. And
Yeah.
I'm not sure when that's going to happen, but one of these days we're going to get cleaner audio,
Better
and we're gonna practice proximity with our mics now, right, Elaine?
When Eric
so that
says
you don't sound like you're in a tin can.
he means I'm gonna practice. I talk with my hands. I move around.
Well, it's when you start to lean back.
Yeah.
Lean back in your chair. Yeah.
Okay, I don't have a back on my chair. This is a stool.
Oh. Ew.
So I have a lot of free range.
I don't like that for you. Actually, speaking of, somebody made this thing go back.
Oh no.
Watch me oh, wrong one. I gotta.
Oh.
Hang on. Technical difficulties. There we go.
That was too good.
Back.
Oh.
Oh.
You were like this far.
Welcome to Friends on Purpose,
Where two friends talk about life, love,
and finding purpose.
We're here to, just wrap up with a pretty little bow.
Yeah, we're calling it season 1, and for no other reason than it just seemed like a good time to start a new season, because why not?
Yeah, right, because we get to decide season can be as many episodes as you want.
I looked it up, and it's not uncommon for a podcast season to be, I believe it was 10 to 12 episodes long.
Okay,
So,
11.
11. Here we
Sweet
are.
spot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, mm-hmm. I guess, what I just want to say first is that I really loved the practice of just continuing to show up and do this for our friendship, but also because it was I didn't have to do a lot of work.
Listen, you make it listenable, so
it just when the thing I like most about season 1 is that I was I have an idea, let's do a podcast, and then you made it happen. That's what I appreciate about it.
It's only because I've been wanting to do it for the last 10 years of our friendship.
Right.
I've just secretly been hiding it until
I meditated.
Until you thought it was your idea.
Right. Yeah, you manifested this.
Yeah, I'm glad we did, because you're right. Yeah. It's every week, it's it has become a practice, which is kind of cool. We take a question and we have to give it some thought, and it's not like we're pouring our whole selves into it, but it does require stepping away from kind of, the things you'd be doing otherwise,
right, sitting watching TV or
right, yeah, and actually dwelling on something TV. That's a little deeper, a little more meaningful, a little more reflective or introspective,
And I've noticed
I've enjoyed that.
Yeah, I've noticed that sometimes something that we've talked about on the podcast, after we've processed it and it's in my head, I'll hear it come out in some other way, in conversation with other people. And I'm oh, that's now stored as a little nugget.
Yeah, for sure.
Which is, it's nice. It's just...
To me, there are instances where it kind of solidifies some things in me, when you say things out loud.
Yeah, becomes real.
It becomes real, yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess... And I don't know, I guess this is kind of how we're moving forward today, is, just kind of doing a little recap on the last 10 episodes. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, we don't really need to go in order, but I will say that the last episode, part 2 of my cult experience, it came out the anniversary of when we ended.
Whoa, did you mean?
Yeah.
For that to happen?
No.
That's wild.
Isn't that crazy? I think it was
anniversary?
3 year. I think it was to the day. If not, it was definitely within the
wow.
week. Yeah. So that's crazy, right?
That's really crazy.
And that's the first time I've ever spoke about it publicly. You know, not that I have a platform to do that elsewhere. I mean, other than my own social media, but like
we have 250 streams. So
we've hit triple digits.
We hit 250. So I'd call that a platform. It's a very rickety,
really
very
popping off
thin
here
platform.
But I don't know. It just felt very
like full circle.
Yeah, and kind of spooky.
Yeah, that is
like
spooky.
That was totally unintentional.
Yeah, or was it? Did the universe have something
somebody
to do with it?
Somebody planned that, but it wasn't me. Yeah.
Yeah. I liked that we talked about things that we've been talking about for years, and I still learned new things. Yeah. You know, about you.
Yeah, for sure.
And that was fun.
Same.
And I have developed a deep appreciation for, like, we have a very similar sense of humor, and I wouldn't say I took that for granted, but it's like, just there's a shorthand that, because like we think this like the same things are funny, so it just is like how I don't know. It's important to me.
Yeah, it's also funny too, like you like nail me on things that So there was one episode where I think it was your humor one, the pooped in my pants one, where we were talking about we just need to laugh at ourselves, especially when like our partners like call us out, and it's like, this is not funny, you know. You did that to me, and I was so proud of myself that I laughed.
Yay!
But I remember in the moment, I'm like, well, like it was a double, like I could laugh at it, but then it was like, I'm gonna have to go back to this and process it. You know what it was?
What was it?
It didn't actually make the cut. But my heart is pounding. So I was talking about, well, it was in one of the cult episodes, right? Okay. And I had said I was so naive, and then you're like, you're still naive.
Oh, and you're like,
yeah. What? And I was like, it bothers me, right? Because you know, I spent my whole life in this, you know, just hoodwinked.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And
of course, I would be tender.
To put it lightly, right?
Yeah.
But I had to like go back and like journal it, because I was like, why does this bother me so much? You know?
Yeah.
And it was kind of obvious why, like, because I was, and I don't want to be seen as somebody who just is so gullible, or is, you know, just, you know, whatever comes with that, whatever my insecurities turn that into, right? But then it was like, well, wait a minute, because I know for my whole life I've been really proud of how I see the best in people before I see the worst, right?
Yeah.
And so it was like I was able to kind of like reclaim it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
To where it was like, I'm not, like, you can call me naive, but like I'm not going to treat that as like an insult or condescending, though maybe at times, and depending on who says that about me, is being that. You certainly weren't.
Yeah, no, I was just referencing the CIA agent.
Right.
I was like, it's like, and like naive, earnest, like looks for the best in people. Like our best qualities are often our worst qualities.
That's not a compliment. You don't say, that person's.
They're so naive. Love that about them.
Right. But for me, it was like, okay, no, I actually like that about myself, because it's like it's like good things, like to be trusting and to be hopeful, and, you know, to, like I said, to see the good in people, and even to be vulnerable, like to a fault, like we were talking about in the previous episode, like the oversharing and the missing the mark when I'm being too kind. You know, it's like what? Like maybe a little too sentimental. Like maybe chill out, dude.
No, never.
But there are those things that, you know, like, I guess I want to defend, you know, and I want to like double down in, you know, because to me, like, the alternative to being naive is
cynical,
not
almost.
being cynical, right?
Totally.
Is not being more wise, because certainly, you know, I come out of this cult. I learned, you know, I realized what I was in, and I'm wiser now, right? So it's not like it's not like I'm still stupid and that's just who I am, and I'm gonna continue making those mistakes. It's like, no, now I can just be even more so that. And so it took me a little bit of journaling, a little bit of crying.
I'm glad you cried. I'm glad you journaled. You know, my partner was very tickled by the references we made about how, like, sensitive I am when she critiques me.
Yeah.
And it was like, it sparked a whole conversation where I was like, I'm just going to try and, like, laugh a little more at myself. Because it's like, I don't want to be the person who, like, when someone makes a, like, joke, like, but it's like all our own narratives.
Especially
like,
a safe person.
I know, but
it's your
like,
partner.
Yeah.
Your
partner,
best friend.
Who I love so much, and also, like, every once in a while that, like, insecurity comes in where you're like, do they think I'm so annoying? Like, because you're so vulnerable with those people, like your family, your partner, whatever, and so I'm like, when she'll, like, make it's like when she'll make a joke, I am programmed to, like, go to an insecure place, which doesn't happen with anyone. Like, except my mom. I make fun of myself all the time, and then as soon as she does it, I'm like, ow.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Well,
things like that, like calling them out during the podcast have made me, like, more aware and more ready to, like, live that way. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I think there's a lot to be said, not that I'm saying everyone should start a podcast, because, you know, but, like,
no, we already saturated the market.
To have a way to talk like this has been very beneficial, and I'm seeing it in those ways.
Yeah. Yeah, I also really just appreciate, like, you know, before this podcast, I actually, in my mind, like, categorizing my long-term friendships, I kind of didn't tally you in that. I don't know why I wasn't like, Eric's one of my longest friendships, but you're, like, up in the top, like, 4 of, like, my longest continuous friendship. Yeah, like, I have a friend from, like, 4th grade, and I have a friend from summer camp, and then you and Kristen Cannon, that are, like, people that are still in my life, like, daily, you know? And so... Did
you meet Kristen at Johnson, at the college?
Yeah, I met her December 2012.
I'm glad I'm in the Kristen Cannon crowd.
Yeah. Like, and it's like, you know, you just, I mean, like, we've talked about this, but it's like I met you when you had way fewer kids. You met me, like, you know, like 3 partners ago, like, you know, like 3 moves ago. So it just, you know, having reflecting on one's self with people who have, like, grown with you is also a really sweet thing to do. Just, like,
that's true.
There's, like, a chunk of time to compare it to, and, like, sometimes we like actually I meant to text you this. For whatever reason, I looked at the Leave Your Mark video.
Oh God, I did too.
Did you really?
I watched them both.
I think it was because it was like 10 years. It was like, I don't know, some, like, amount of years ago that it came out. But, like, okay, y'all, it was a time where we were all into hashtags, and I chose.
I remember laughing at this, and you didn't find it funny. You needed to journal that.
Leave your mark. Because
you got to explain.
Because we were the Badgers, and there was a scratch, you know, like...
Right, so the logo had a scratch through it, you know, like a typical athletics logo would. It's kind of got that aggressive, you know, mascot look. But Elaine came up with a hashtag for the athletics department that year because there was a new like campaign.
You made a whole new brand and like.
Yeah, and we made a bunch of videos that went along with it. And there was always like this overarching video, and it was when I was just learning how to like edit and shoot and the whole 9 yards there.
And I just will say that we were on the like. While we were like working at this like small little, rural institution, like we were doing it on the cutting edge of it being like cool and good, but we just weren't doing it as good.
I mean, the NCAA posted our video on their homepage, right?
They totally did.
It wasn't just us. People did see value in it.
Yeah.
What was the hashtag the first year? Because Leave Your Mark came the second, I think.
No, I think Leave Your Mark was first. It'll come to me.
No, it wasn't.
Really?
Yeah, it was because we had one student. It was a female voice the first time.
It was
the Leave
Chris.
Your Mark was the Leave Your Mark was the commentator guy who had a big booming voice.
He was this, yeah. Yeah, you're right. Leave Your Mark. No, Leave Your Mark was 2014.
Well, anyway, I guess it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But Leave Your Mark was, that was the hashtag. But we posted it, right? And apparently, Leave Your Mark was a hashtag used from what during that time. I discovered that it was highly used within the BDSM community.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm looking at the analytics, and it's like being lumped in with this other community that took that in a very different way. And I thought it was hilarious, and I pointed out to you, and you're like, devastated.
I was like, oh no. Oh.
I thought it was hilarious.
Well, and then like, okay, also it just came to me, Whatever It Takes was the second video. Leave Your Mark was the first.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the other thing that really gets me is somebody somewhere, I don't remember, in the comments on something when we posted the Leave Your Mark video, is like some rival whatever posted leave your skid mark. And I remember just being like, I really thought I thought this one through. Like I thought this was going to really land. And the kids were they were excited for a second to see their name up in lights.
Yeah, people got into, and that's what you do. I mean, every school is doing that in one way or another, and it's fun.
Yeah, and the Leave Your Mark video 11 years ago, it's got 750 views.
Wow, goals.
And the hashtag whatever it takes is
whatever it takes
474 views. It's a theme with us to drop off.
Somehow we're still marketing.
We are.
We're still employed somehow.
Yeah.
Well, you're not in marketing.
I'm not.
Yeah. Social media has never been my strength. I can create content. I can't guarantee views.
Yeah. Wow. But that was so fun. It was fun.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. This it's been fun to work with you professionally, and then be like, get to it's hard to work with someone you're friends with, because I liked you as a friend and was still I respected you at work, which is hard.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you get to know someone and you're like, that person, I do not want to work with them. I'll get a beer with them, but I don't want to work. But I just like doing everything with you.
Well, that's because I do all the work.
I know. It's a really good deal.
Do you have any questions? Any follow-up questions, especially about my cult experience? Because I listened back to that and I'm like, damn, we
skated through it.
Oh yeah, there's a lot there.
Yeah.
Well, we spoke for 2 hours.
Yeah.
Twice in a row.
Right.
So there's a lot I cut out.
No, I mean, I feel like I've gotten to ask you a lot of questions, but it's like the thing that I always wonder is like, how did you like turn out the way you did despite that? But I don't know that you have an answer for that.
I don't know. I'm just naive, I guess.
I guess a question that I was left with was, why do we call it prophesy? That's like the verb. That's like to prophesy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's funny, Emily was laughing at that because she's like, she finds it crazy, but for the wrong reason. Like...
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think because of what wasn't said, like there's like there's like a whole culture behind this prophesying thing. Like there are like major players and people like, I mean, now there are like prophets, people self-proclaimed prophets, out there, and you were laughing because
he saw you in your pajamas.
Yeah.
I was like, in the prophecy, you were in your onesie? Come on.
See, to me, that was funny, but like, that was so mild in comparison to some of the things we've heard.
Yeah.
Like there would be prophecies that would like direct the direction of our church. Like we would base sermons off of, and like kind of find comfort in, and like like collectively it would like unite us under like one, I don't know, it was just a lot bigger than like the individual prophetic message, so I don't know, I'm not explaining it very well, but it's like a lot to unpack.
Yeah. Actually, this is like I was a big camp girly. I was like went off to summer camp, and it was the oldest girls' summer camp in the country, Wyanaganic. So it's a pretty big deal, and it was steeped with tradition and like a uniform and
wow.
Yeah, like we had like chapel in the Pines every Sunday, and we wore white all day that day, and there were songs, and there was holding hands, and there were like canoes and candlelight. Like it was just very beautiful and very like,
sounds like a Wes Anderson film.
Yes, very. It was very curated. I mean, we had no electricity, which was, I mean, this was in like the 90s and 2000s, and it was just, there were no magazines allowed. Like it was a place to go be away from. Yeah, you couldn't have Cosmo Girl. No cell phones, obviously, so there was no power. We got showers like every couple days on a like designated day, whatever. Anyway, the point of all of this is that it was like so special to me, and anyone who didn't get it, I was just like, you're dead to me. Like, how do you not understand that this thing is so important? And what it just like when you feel like you have a community and you feel seen and you are like exploring your self in like new and exciting ways, whatever, it's just like kind of, that's peak. You're like, oh, this is how it should feel. And that's why cults happen, because you're like, here's your people here, there's just like enough, like all of the weird shit that comes with it is like, okay, but at the core, the reason it works is because we are all seeking that like community and some of the ritual and some of the tradition and those things. Like there's that fine line where they tip from like cool and fun to like and that I just heard that a lot in your story, and like have always heard that a lot in your story. But like people, the way I talked about camp was like witnessing. I really? Was just, like, oh my God, my friends were like, it was just this joke. Even before the one time at band camp joke, it was like what my version was like. I would be like, oh, one time at summer camp. And people are like, it's enough. Like, yeah, it just, yeah, I get it. I get it a lot.
Yeah, I think there was a lot of that. I think especially in like the second half, it was a lot of just like, it's like I was too exhausted to even think of anything else. Like all my dreams are dead. Like I couldn't think beyond the next day, you know? So to even like think outside of my world was just too exhausting.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think one of my favorite episodes was your story, your coming out story.
Oh yeah, it wasn't really a story, but
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I think mainly because I got to hear it for the first time, and it was new for you to kind of to reframe it in that way.
Yeah.
Which I found really helpful for me, but also it just was I don't know if surprising is the right word, but it was just comforting, I guess, to be able to relate to it so much.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that had mostly to do with like the shame part.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we talked a little bit about that.
Yeah.
And I ended up reading Alan Cumming's memoir.
Oh, did you? I've never read it.
Yeah. And that was surprising to me as well, because that was also about shame.
Oh, yeah.
And so he has like these two stories that he follows. He really focuses very little on his career and, you know, his fame, and really focuses on his relationship with his dad and I guess what you call his relationship with his grandfather, except that he never knew him. He ended up learning a lot about him and his history because of a show he went on called Who Do You Think You Are?
Yeah,
which is like it's like
a ancestry show.
Right. They dig up your family history and surprise you with it.
They dig up your family history. They don't dig up your family.
No. We exhumed your grandfather's body, and like, guess what? You are like related.
Pitching it to the studio, and they're like, okay, we're going to dig up people's families and their history. The executives are like,
what? Oh. No, but the thing that came out of it was they're both kind of like tragic stories. And he basically summed it up in this really beautiful way, and basically just saying, hey, this is how shame happens. Yeah. You know, you don't communicate. You don't say the thing out loud. Yeah. And it's the source of so much abuse and so much depression and, you know, whatever else, right? And so it just kind of, it was like a nice little, I don't know, it wasn't very long, but it paired well with our conversation. It was just like, you know, had me thinking about it a little more.
Yeah, it has always felt like to me like shame is one of the most powerful emotions because it's like it kind of drives the worst of human behavior. Like like almost like the thinking that like anger isn't a feeling, it's a like outcome from a feeling, and the feeling is usually like shame or fear or whatever. And I'm sure that I'm not getting that right. Like angry can be a feeling, I guess, but the underlying
it triggers those things.
Just and that we all are like carrying around stuff like this. But I think I was just really there's just this, I don't want to sound preachy or like inauthentic, but it's been really powerful to practice forgiveness for yourself, for people who you feel wronged by, like, and that was what surprised me. And this, like, the story used to just lack, and I mean, it was like there had to be a clear villain, and it was like my mom and how she did or didn't handle stuff, and that just dissipated and was like, it's not as simple as that. And I think that's what we gain as we like move through our own lives in the world, is that you're like, wow, it would be so nice if it were that simple. But it never is. And the more you get to explore the gray, I think the easier it is to not get sucked into like too much of the highs or too much of the lows, because you're just like, I'm gonna go ahead and let that one pass, because I probably don't get it fully. Like people in your life who are angry or acting out in ways, it's just like you find more compassion for them, and yeah, I don't know, that was what really startled me about that, because I hadn't said it out loud, so it wasn't real yet.
Yeah. That was probably one of my favorite episodes.
I really liked Nerds and Geeks, because it felt, I don't know, like, well, I guess we did kind of plan it.
We did. It wasn't a question we asked ahead of time. We were just like, we should talk about, well, maybe, I don't remember. It felt, I think it was more off the cuff than the other ones.
But
I really like that. But that one, and I think for season 2, we're going to try to do more of those, to where it's a lot of just having fun and, you know, talking about something specific and maybe coming to some sort of conclusion. But, I mean, that's just us, you know?
Yeah.
And
that's just us. We're just cool and fun and cute and nice. We had our moon night last night.
Oh yeah, I thought about you.
2 nights.
I was like,
ago.
Full moon. Elaine must be hanging out with her,
with my coven. And it was, you know, like, I don't know anything about astrology, but whatever, people are talking about the astrology of it. But what I was thinking of you was that there was this, like, the whole point of the March moon was, like, what can you let go of and what are you sloughing off? And, like, there's this, like, busyness of March before the season turns and before spring really arrives. And it's, like, literally the spring cleaning of, like, your head and your heart and your mind. And just, like, I was thinking about with like you telling your story, and like that each time you kind of tell it, you shed a little bit of it, because you like set it out into the world and it's not only with you. And I don't know, I don't know if we said this on recording or not, but when you released the second episode, it was 3 years to the day since you
yep.
or
I think
around
we said
there
that.
It did so it's like stuff like, it's just like this like full circle moment. I was thinking of you and like that, what it feels like to tell something that can like feel shameful or sad or weird, and it's like now it's just out there and you kind of like, you just let it go a little.
It definitely felt like I was letting go of some things. Certainly there's a lot more to unpack. It's only been 3 years, right? But it was definitely therapeutic in the way that, you know, kind of writing things like journaling does for me, and really just having to say what it is, you know. Like at the start of all of our conversations, you know, and kind of preparing for it, you know, like I think you posed the question first, like, hey, what do you think of, like, would you be okay with sharing your your background? And it was even hard for me to say the word cult
I know. I know.
I always paired it with high control church
Right.
or culty church, but I never quite said cult. And, you know, it's now that I'm saying it out loud and within a longer conversation, it's definitely been easier.
Yeah.
Because that's what it was, right? I mean, there's no question.
But it's scary to like I don't know. I've struggled with that with like I had a really hard time like naming like when a like family member was struggling with alcoholism, and I was like, they just have a problem with alcohol, or you know, like it was like hard to say they're an alcoholic.
Right.
Because the power of words is a lot, and you like already have your own in your head, your own idea of what that will mean if you use that label.
Yeah.
It's stressful.
Yeah. And I think just the general practice of talking to each other, like we were saying earlier, has just put me into a rhythm of just being mindful in that way in general, not just for the podcast, but you know, I'm noticing some things about like my kids and you know, me as a dad, that seem good, and you know, like areas where I can be different, and you know, I'm being just mindful. Like I said, more mindful of, you know, my words and how I conduct myself. And
do you feel like it has changed like how you relate to other things in your life? Like I find that this podcast is it's top of mind more, so I think about I don't know, I think about what we're going to talk about, or like I like categorize things. I'm like, oh, this would be good to like
you're a little more
tell Eric
like meta about
yeah
for sure. But I'm seeing some things that I've written off for life that I realize, oh, I could actually explore that, you know, like
what?
So, and this might lead into the next this might lead into our next episode, because I think this is what our next episode should be, is we need to talk about horror movies. So I've realized that I totally shut that off. Like the horror movies were always off limits for me.
Yeah.
One, they did scare me.
Right.
Like genuinely scare me. But it was at a time when I believed in demons.
Right.
It was at a time when I truly believed that they could harm me spiritually.
Right.
But I also know that the few thrillers I've seen in my lifetime, I loved.
Yeah.
Like truly loved. So I started watching more. We talked a little bit about, you know, Heretic and Weapons. And since then, Susan's been asking to watch scary movies. We watched all of Stranger Things, which is pretty scary for her. But then we watched It together. Yeah. Which was like huge for me.
Yeah.
I would never, you know, that has never been appealing to me. That there's just like, nope, that's not for me. But I watched it first. I wanted to make sure Susan could handle it.
Did you watch the newest one or the older one? Yeah.
We watched the newest one.
Like
the first one. There's two of them, right? Yeah.
So you didn't watch like the 1970 or 1980?
No.
Yeah.
No, we watched whatever. Yeah, it came out a few years ago.
Yeah.
And it was good, you know, like on the scale of, you know, scary movies, it's not my favorite.
Yeah.
Susan enjoyed it.
Yeah.
She was scared, like you would be, but you know, she genuinely enjoyed the story, right?
Yeah.
And that's really what I'm looking for. And in that format, I'm discovering that, like, oh, I think I like these movies, you know? So where I kind of have written off either like parts of horror or just horror in general, like, you know, subgenres.
Yeah.
It's now like I'm giving myself permission to watch because they don't scare me. Like I watched It, and it didn't scare me. You know, even Weapons was pretty creepy.
Yeah.
But there's this, the spiritual side of it, you know, the fearful side of it, the part of the Christianity that I grew up in. You know, there's like a very fear-based side of like the demonic that felt very real. It's not there anymore.
Yeah.
And it surprises me, you know? Like, I remember being in my 20s, scared to go out and get firewood.
Because of demons?
I was afraid I was going to see a demon.
Whoa.
And that's a side of the prophetic that I haven't talked about.
Yeah.
People that would prophesy about dark spirits and demons and things they would see. And I grew up with that. I grew up with friends saying they've seen them, you know? So it was, I grew up believing that was real.
Yeah.
And now it's like, it's totally not, it surprises me. It's like, it's not there, you know? So I'm able to watch these movies and enjoy them for what they truly are. I mean, they're very, the ones that I've seen, right, have been very satisfying, like intellectually.
Yeah.
Even like, I just like the way the stories are told.
Yeah.
And so it's like I have a greater appreciation for them. And they're not what I thought they were, you know.
We do have to do this episode because I'm brimming with things I want to say,
right.
And I want to. So yeah,
and I don't want to say too much because we do have to turn it into an episode.
I'm glad because horror as a genre has been like, I've been out on an island plenty of times where like people won't watch. I will like ask if we could watch them at sleepovers or whatever, or like partners I've had are like, no way, I'm not gonna do it. So it's like, long time horror has been like my own secret thing, and then I'll meet people who are super into it, and then we will like watch them either together or when we're apart, but together, and then talk about it. So I'm really glad you're getting into it because I got a lot to say, and I have a lot of recommendations.
Well, that'll be episode 1, season 2. Does that sound good?
I'm all right, down to clown with that.
There are still things I'm uncomfortable with.
Horror-wise. Oh, yeah. Like, I don't like the 2010... Wait, let's not do this. Let's talk about it during our episode.
Okay.
Because I
will say, I didn't like the bullying in it. Mm-hmm. And I was expressing that to Emily and Jude. I was like, I just don't like bullying. And he's like, well, yeah, Dad, you're not supposed to like bullying. It's like, no, like...
True.
I realize bullying is a bad thing.
You're like, I don't know why they put that in there.
It's hard for me to stomach. Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I feel that way about like sexual violence in movies or I don't. Anyway, we'll talk about that. We will talk about this later.
It for season 2.
Yeah. Okay. So I think what we have been talking about is like, it's just been a true joy to do this. Thanks for people who have listened. If you're not listening, it's okay. This is fun for us. You know, I don't know if you have anything more significant to say, but I do have a lot of things I want to land the plane with. Let's hear it.
Yeah, definitely.
You should watch the Apple TV show called Before.
Oh.
The basic premise is like Billy Crystal as like a 77-year-old, because he's not Harry Met Sally anymore age, you know, so
it's new.
It's brand new. I think last year or this year even. Is a psychiatrist. He's very into hard materialist science, and he works with a lot of troubled youth, and a young child comes across his path that all of a sudden they're having this like counter transference where whatever the young boy is feeling, the psychiatrist is now feeling, and it's like very powerful. And it's really, really good. And he kind of comes to this, he's like committed to a mental institution at one point, whatever, it's not a spoiler. But it's like, I like when shows like that or horror or whatever explores things we take for granted, like, oh, they're just crazy, and then like you see the big reveal at the end where you're like, they weren't crazy,
Right,
that
yeah,
like
yeah.
that's kind of like part of the switch in that, but it was really it was very it had a lot of I was gonna say lazy narrative arcs, but I think it was a television show, like it was a limited series, so they had to like tie each episode up, which I
Sum it
felt
up quick,
like a little forced. But anyway, I thought it was really good. I would recommend it. And it was like
Before, okay.
before, like before and after. Before.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought you said the four, and I was like, no,
before.
No.
I got it.
let me say before.
Right, got it. Okay, the four.
Yeah,
got it.
yeah,
Okay,
the four.
cool.
Check, got it. The four.
I couldn't find it, Elaine. I don't know.
Before.
I typed in the number. I typed it out.
Yeah, so that was one thing I watched, and I really liked it. And
Have you watched Begonia yet?
No.
Do
I'm
it.
going to watch it this weekend. My
Okay.
partner is gone for the weekend, so I can watch all the horror I want, because she does not like horror at all. No go for her.
And I understand that.
Yeah, plenty of people are just like...
Beyond my own little personal weirdness, but like...
Yeah,
it's not for everybody.
I think it is, but... Anyway, that was what I wanted to land the plane with. Well, I guess if you are listening...
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks for listening.
Thank you. But if you want to, like a little preview of next season, that's what we wanted to give you. A little, like, it's going to be more of the same.
We're gonna keep more of the same. We got our origin stories out, so we can we can move on from that.
Now you know what villains you're dealing with.
Yeah. Yeah, more of the same. We'll be asking questions to each other. We might add like fun little trivia segments.
Yep.
To where we do either lightning rounds or multiple choice. Throw out some hilarious cult facts or embarrassing moments from our past. I don't know.
Yeah.
As like little sponsored segments, because we don't have sponsors
yet.
Listen, we're in the triple digits.
Yeah, if anyone wants to sponsor us, we're not saying no.
We need new microphones. So
yeah. I actually forgot to tell you something that might get cut, because maybe it's not as funny as I think it is. But did I tell you that sometimes I cover the librarian's lunch, like the desk in the library that she needs to go get. Yeah. So there's a crew of kids that are always in there at the same, that whenever I cover that lunch. And, I mean, I say sometimes, it's every other day. It's not like it's random. Yeah. And there's this little local newspaper, the Villager, the Mid-Coast Villager, which is a great newspaper. Actually, it's a really cool business model. Look it up. They have their own cafe, and they sponsor these, like, whatever, blah, blah, blah. The obituaries, often, the kids will be there, and we're like, we're bored, what should we do? And I'm like, let's read the obituaries, and, like, pick who we'd be friends with. But then they kind of got bored with that. And so I was, like, trying to keep their attention before, because if they're bored, they do weird stuff. So I was like, let's read these. Like, pick out the person you want to be friends with and then read about them and see if it aligns. But then they lost interest. And so I was like, okay, like, based on the pictures, what do you think their farts sound like? So one kid would, someone would pick the picture, and then a kid would be like, I think that his fart would sound like someone who's, like, learning how to play the French horn. And then I would be like, and we did that for, like,
never not
11
funny.
People.
That's funny, because I just taught Jeremiah a new fart game.
Oh?
Have you heard of Guess My Fart?
No. Oh, is it Guess Your Fart and then you fart? Yeah,
so you got to make the fart noise before
it happens. Yeah.
And then if it matches up, you win.
That's funny.
If the sound is the same, yeah.
Has he ever won?
Oh yeah.
Oh, he knows your farts.
I Yes. But he farts a lot too, so he's always like, Dad, guess my fart! Quick, guess my fart! Except he can't say his R's. Guess my fart!
Be my fart!
Guess my fart!
It's so funny.
And,
it's so funny.
Yeah. Farts, man. We're ending this season.
Here we are. Where we began.
Full circle.
It always comes back to farts. So should we do it again?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we should.
Yes. Okay, great.
Yes.
I'm ready. I'm down to clown.
Okay, let's do this. Season 2, here we come.
Yay.